Yes, welcome to lab time here at Rumkraft. Today we're gonna take a look at something called Euclidian Sequencer Pro, and you can go into this website here, altman.gumroad.com, and it will cost you 19 euros. They say name a fair price, yeah, 19 or above. But it's still cheap, in my opinion, for what it can do. But it's called Euclidian Sequencer Pro 2.1. So, I've loaded in some percussions, and I only need the four lowest on the in the drum rack here. So this is the sounds I've chosen, and they're still pressure sensitive. So, but we'll come into that later. So it's very important for me when I do percussion. So these are the four sounds that we're gonna dive into. So I can go into my packs here and have Euclidian Sequencer Pro put up here. And this is how it looks, and we're gonna... The cool thing about this that it looks like this, but you can actually press this little button and then we have it on big screen here. And then I can zoom a little bit more in so you can see some more. So what is a Euclidean circle? It is a circle of above all, and it has steps. That's the small dots you see here. Right now this one is the one that's highlighted. Where I can also turn on more circles, so we have 4 circles total that we can play around with. We can set the steps. That's how many dots it will be. 32 is the biggest. And then we have events, is these little dots. So if I hit play, nothing is here because the key is C3. If I scroll out and hit play, you can actually see where it, whoops. There we go. Where it fires off actually right now. So you can see down here is where the C3 is. So if we go out again, zoom out again, we can go in here and say C1. Just hit C1, and now it will fire up the first sound. Hey? Ja. Så man kom bare indenfor. 3 minutter siden. Så du nåede det lige. So, right now, it's firing up the conga low. Martin, bare benene, sæt dig ned. Bare tage skoen af, og så det er, hvad jeg kræver. Og så bare komme ind og sidde og kigge med. And, yeah, over here. So right now, the C3 is firing off when this is hitting that dot. But if we go and set the metronome on, it's not synced. So you can see the outer line on that is actually the DAW's rate and syncopation. So if we go resync, it will, now it's there. And it's fired up so it doesn't sound off. And we'll take this off again. So this, right now I have 8 steps. So if I take the next step, whoop, here, it will divide these 8 steps into 2. So we'll take half of it. And this is actually a very, very old mathematic. I think it's from the 1600, approximately. It's a difficult word to say. But 200 years ago, like a guy found out the Aborigines and old kind of music is based on Euclidean circles as well, by rhythms. So it divides, every time it tries to divide it equally. But the next number is 3. So if you divide 3 by 8, you can't, there's nothing that could be divided. So right now you see the first dot and then 1 in the middle, 2 in the middle, and then 2 in the middle. So if I set the metronome on, oh, I will resync. It will be rhythmical correct. And if I take 4, that will divide 8 by 4, so we got 4, 4. We can have a, like a kick. That could be a kick if we wanted to. And then so it will always divide. I'll take the metronome off. So then we have rotation. So the first dot, we can have it move to the next step instead. So we take the rhythm. Right now it would be sound the same, but if we took some one beat on it, turn it down a little bit. And set it to 0 again. So you can turn the circles around, and that's the concept about it. It's actually not more complicated than this. So it depends on how many steps. The fun thing about it is that if we take 0 and 1 and we set it to 9, resync. It always, then we are in the what do you call it, polymeter territory. So it's like a polyrhythm. It will always shift because the step, it's like when you have your piano roll and you set the number smaller, like 0.1 smaller, it will roll. It will still fit with the rhythm, but it will not hit until it's been the whole way around rhythmically. You can see it. But then you can put some more. So you get really nice rhythms. So let's try and set number or B, the number 2. So it's not saying anything because it has to be the next. So that's going to be C flat 1. And you can see this has 10 steps and 1. Let's put some more on. Shut this. Check this to get to stop. And take the next one. That has to be a D1. And the last one is a cowbell. And that's D flat 1. And resync. Let's put some more. So that's all cool and nice, but what we can do as well is we can say that we can have one of them go backwards. So the red right now goes backwards. We can set that speed slower, divided by 2, 3, 4, or the opposite. Whoops, not the right button. We'll come to that later. So if we put that to the beat, let's do it here, it's easy. Yep. The next cool thing is that there's a random button down here, and it's just not just a random button. If I hit that, it will open a new page. So here I can say rotation on each, how much and how far it should go for the randomization. I can randomize all, or I can hit, let's see, this one. Now you can see the red ones just randomize how much or how many rotations. That's the when it's going to be triggered. So I'll just reset all. So now and just hit, let's say 8 for them all. Then they should be fired off at once. Here we go, and resync. So this is 2 times speed. I'm double click on that and resync, and the opposite way. So now you can see if I hit randomize all with the rotation or event. I would like the event, how many dots randomized over 8 steps. So let's hear how that will sound. Once again. Just keep hitting it. And then the steps. And resync. So this one I'll move up. So I'll stop it. So the cool thing is the accent. That's where the percussion gets alive. It's because how hard you're gonna hit the drums or your percussion randomized. Now you can see there's some dots that's big, some of them are small, and now the rhythmical part is gonna be here. And you can randomize all up here as well. This is very fast to make percussions. Let's say I like this, I can hit Shift and you can see it lights up here. Click it. Now I've stored this preset, and then I can say randomize all and say, does this sound good? It's nice too. Let's save that. Shift on number 2. You can also reset the different ones, so I don't want this, I don't want that. Say I want to save that as well. Shift. So now I can just go back to this, then resync. That's all I'm gonna show for the percussion part. So it's really nice to make like kind of Brazilian or these kind of sounds with the percussion, like world music style. I think it's pretty cool. So, but you can always also do it with synth or melodic. So let's take a look at that. I'll put it on this pluck sound. And the cool thing about this is when you start it up, you don't have to do anything. Let's say we start with this and hit play. It will say like this. So I can then start B, C, D, and we'll just go. And then we can say, okay, steps, I want the bass tone to be more. Can open up the filter. And again. And then we can say which tones we want. So let's see, the track I've made is an F, of course, every time. F1, that's very low. Let's see this, D flat, 2. Let's this, G sharp, 3. And let's take this and A flat, 3. So you can see it's very easy. Again, the accent randomize all. More expression. And the cool thing with this is, right now I can't play anything, but I can hit a pitchator, and I can say I want to pitchate some of them or all of them. So now, now I can play it if I set my push for a minor F, and now I can play it. I will hold it there. Now if I take that all off, I will hold that key. Let's hear it with some music. Is there any questions so far? Yeah.
Could you show again what you did with the push? Did you isolate the notes?
So, no, what I did was I only turned on the pitchator. So right now, it'll still sound like this. And if I go to the push, it will play that note. That's the one we had. And then I can say the next, and I will play that note. I'll just play it like a real normal push would play it.
So the blue one would take the lowest note and so on?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, exactly. So it's pretty cool that you can also isolate, so the other one would still go, and then you can just pitch wherever you want on the push. That's pretty cool. More questions, or does it make sense? So well, I was intrigued by this because I have on my modular system, I have the Euclidean circles, and that's the same principle. And I really love it to make my drums on the Euclidean circles. Yes, Martin?
Have you heard about the sequencer from Torso Electronics called T1?
T1?
Yeah.
Is that, er det det samme?
It's also Euclidean.
Euclidean circles, yeah. And Pamela's workout can make Euclidean circles as well. There's some couple of modules in the grids, yes. It's a good system, and I really missed that in Ableton. So, then I found this, and it was like, wow, I like that, to just generate some drums for me. We can also go over. I'll just reset it all and take some off, and then I'm gonna resync. You can also set this to which kind of ways you want to read the syncopation. You can do it in hertz, so it's really off. There we go. Oh, isn't it in arpeggiator mode? I'm gonna reset all. So what we can do as well, we can go over to polyrhythms. And that's where it's kind of difficult because that's so out of tune, if you can say it like that, rhythm-wise. So if we have resync on, and we'll take the take it down to you can hear it's out of, but it's not out of. That's with the polyrhythms compared to polymeters. My musical understanding would rather think about that. There is one more tab that opened up a whole new machine. If I click the sequencer, I think I'll stop here and then show it on next Wednesday, because we have a whole sequencer that goes with the Euclidean circle as well, where you can do pitch, velocity, duration, probability, and parameter. Parameter is where you can link up, let's say, a cutoff filter in some other place that will go with the Euclidean circle as well. But let's take that next week. Any more questions? Yep.
Can you modulate the parameters?
Yes, everything can be. You can put let's say LFO here, and just say map to the steps. You can also do that. So everything is can be modulated. We can take and map this one. Can't even hear the difference, but every parameter, maybe I should resync. But it will hit the right ones, right?
Maybe the rate is too high.
Yeah, maybe we can take the depth down. There we go. And then the LFO, we can say that we want random. So yeah, everything can be modulated. And it can be modulated also with automation. So it's pretty cool. But the sequencer will be next time. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for listening and watching. And see you next Wednesday. Bye.